Hi, my name is John Tyler, and I'm bringing this how-to tutorial on how to forward your domain name from any website, but basically from hover.com to another website of your choosing. What I've learned is that Hover has taken over from my old hosting company, which was powerpipe.com. At PowerPipe, when you wanted to forward something, you just had two little blocks there and you put in where you wanted to forward it. They had an @ sign and they had a www, and you just forward it. Hover is a little bit different in several respects. One is that, let me show you. Well, when I call Hover 3 different times to talk to 3 different techs over the past month and a half, and this is now February 1st of 2019, then I would get, most of them would either volunteer to forward my domains, and I have 23 of them, or they would just tell me go online and take a look at this. So I went to online and took their advice, and I followed all 8 steps that they have. The problem with this is real simple. It was written by a tech, and probably techs think like everybody's a tech. So that if you actually did every step that they put down on this page, and you were a tech, you could go to, for example, I'll pick on one of my domain names, onlinebillpaying.com. If I type into a browser and follow their instructions here, and I'm a tech, then I would type in no www. I would just type in the root domain name, which would be onlinebillpaying.com. And it would actually go there following these instructions. The problem is that 99% or 98% of the population, like me, I still type in www dot whatever. So if you type in, for example, go try it, Microsoft.com with no W's, it'll go there. Then if you type in www.microsoft.com, it will go there. So the problem here with Hover is they eliminate one step, which is the most important step for 98% of the people, which is to add the www. Okay, so let me go to step number 1 here to make this real easy for you. This video, which is what the techs should think like I do, I'm dealing with people who I don't know what level you're at. So I'm not going to speak like a tech here. I'm just going to give you step number 1 through whatever it takes to get you to the end of this tutorial. And at the end of it, you will be a professional domain name forwarder on Hover, for example. In fact, when I finally figured out how to do it without the help of the Hover techs, because they just wouldn't show me what the missing step was, when I did that, I had forwarded all 23 of my domain names, and it took less than 1 minute each. So by the end of this little short tutorial, and it'll be short, believe me, you will also be able to do that by the 3rd domain that you forward, for example. Okay, so step number 1, let's go and log into our Hover account. It's going to look like this. And at the top under your account, you just click on that little arrow there, and you're going to see a drop-down menu. It's going to say domains, emails, blah, blah, blah. All you want to do now is click on domains, so it'll bring you over to an overview sheet of all of your domains. Let's do that. Here we go, the overview sheet of, it says your domains. So down the list on the left-hand side, for purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to pick on one of my domain names called onlinebillpaying.com. And I'm going to do what you're going to do. When you find your domain in Hover, for example, just double click on it with your mouse. That's going to open up this page. If you notice on the top there, it says onlinebillpaying.com. so that you and I know we're on the right page. Then under name servers, you will see probably 5, not 2, because I fixed this already, but 5 domain names. It depends on where your domain came from. So like PowerPipe. So what you need to do is open up the name servers and type in ns1.hover.com and ns2.hover.com. That is the basic IP address, if you will, of where your domain is being hosted at Hover. So in the middle of this sheet here, you'll see in green, a green box there, says forward this domain. Let me get a little closer to that with my red arrow. When you see forward this domain, you want to click on that block. But let me go back just for a second to the name servers. When you open up the edit box there and type in ns1.hover.com and so forth, check it, look at it again, because every time I did mine, they reverted back to the old name servers. So I had to hit edit and go and type that in again. The second time always it took. So let's go back here to forward this domain. You want to click on that little block. That's going to bring you to this scene. Add a new forward. Yes, that's what I want to do. I want to add a new forward. You're going to click on that little green arrow there. That's going to drop down 3 different choices. One is your domain name. The other middle one is like example, your domain name, so forth. The bottom one is your domain name, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of that, it says example. Forget those 2. You want to click on the very top one. While I'm in this block, let me just say below that, you see the words forwarding to. That's where you're going to type in where you're going to forward that domain name. So let me go and show you. When I clicked on the green arrow, I chose onlinebillpaying.com. You just click on it, the top line now, under select a forward, type, and you want to click on your domain name only. Forget the other 2. Okay. Down below that, this is where the block where you want to forward that domain, onlinebillpaying.com, to. I wanted to send it off to my world-class domain name website, because I buy and sell domain names. And sometimes I have domains that I put up, like upscalehomes.com. I actually design a fake website that looks like it's a real estate website. So I want to send or forward my domain name, upscalehomes.com, which I did, over to that site. So wherever you want to forward your domain to, that's what you type in. You just make sure you put the HTTP or HTTPS : / wherever it's going to go. Okay, so having done that, you see on the bottom there it says cancel and save the forward. You want to save the forward. So once you do that, you're going to see this on your overview. Notice at the top of the screen it says overview, DNS connect, forwards, email, advanced. Okay, the underlined in black, it says overview. So it's showing me my name servers again, and I'm making sure again that ns1 and 2 hover.com is there. And then you'll note down below it says your domain is forwarding to onlinebillpaying.com, forwarding to where I told it to go. So that's when you think that your domain is forwarding. It's not until you complete the next 2 steps. That's one of the reasons I had to call Hover 3 times. I said, hey, it says it's forwarding, but it's not. What step am I missing? And they either didn't tell me, wouldn't tell me, or couldn't tell me. Sometimes Hover, for example, will pay people to close an account out as quickly as you can. That's how they get paid. The quicker they close an account, the better. So they'll either volunteer to do the forwarding for you and close the account, and then they get their pay, I guess. Or they're not going to spend a lot of time training you. I can't blame Hover for that. Okay, So you have to figure it out for yourself, or do like I did. I went up onto YouTube. YouTube tells you how to do everything, right? So I went there, and there was a guru up there who alleges that he got paid by Hover to do a video. So I said, well, gee, if he got paid, he must know what he's doing. Big guy, and so he explained the whole thing on how to do it, and he explained it right, but your domain would never forward to anybody that types in www using his suggestions there, or using the actual sheet that Hover uses. It's never going to go there. I'll explain that when I get to a certain page here. Okay, so it says it's forwarding. That's nice. You want that to say that, but now we're going to go and complete the steps so that your domain actually does forward. Okay, let's go to, you see up the top again, we moved over from overview to DNS. Notice the black line under that? You want to click on DNS, domain name servers. Then you're going to see add a record. This is the most important step that you're ever going to do on Hover. But the secret that they omit all the time is that if you add one record per their suggestions, your domain, your root domain name, onlinebillpaying.com, without the W's, that will work fine. But you want, as I said earlier, you want your domain to be exposed to the other 98% of the people in the world. Okay, so here we go. Add a record. You're going to go back to add a record. You're going to be there 2 times. That was the missing step that I could never get anybody to tell me about. So finally I figured it out for myself. Okay, so add a record. Click that block and you're going to come to this. Create a domain name server record. Yes. Type A. There's double A, there's triple A, there's quadruple A. It's like, athletic association, whatever. You only want A, address. That's what you're going to do. You're going to use the address of online bill paying, whatever your domain name is. Under host name, this is the important block for text. And for you. You want people to be able to type in onlinebillpaying.com if it's a tech, and it will go there. So to do that, you need the root host name here, and then the IP address of Hover, which is, you want to type that in, 64.98.145.30. So once you see that screen, you see down below it says cancel, add a record. Okay, type in or click on add a record. And then you're going to go back to the DNS. See, I circled it up there in yellow. You're going to click on that again and do the second record, which nobody other than here so far will tell you to do. This is the important thing to get your domain name to everybody who's going to type in www. Okay, so you're going to add a record. Now notice on the top line here, it says type, host, value, TTL, so forth and so on. Type, we already typed that in, A. We already added the @ sign, and we typed in the value, which is the IP address there of Hover, where your domain is being hosted. Okay, so that's complete. If I just left it like that, which is what their propaganda online tells you to do, or their how-to sheet, then any tech or person who has the knowledge to not add the www, that will actually work and your domain will be seen. But anybody like the average 98% of America and the world is going to type in the www. This is why you want to hit add a record again. Now let's go see how that will get your domain actually forwarded to text and to regular people. Dusty. So here we are at the same create DNS record again. This time you leave the A there.
Under host name, however, you do not put the @ sign. You click on www. And you make sure that the IP address of Hover is there in the next line down, 64.98.145.30. Okay, so once that's done, you're going to, Hover does not add they put the www, but they don't add the dot and wherever you're going to end up forwarding it. So this is where we're going to do that little bit of work. Next scene. In this record, we've already typed or selected www. We've selected the A. We've got the IP address in there. Now you want to add the dot onlinebillpaying.com or dot whatever your domain name is. That's what's going into that block. That's the key. That's the secret to have everybody who wants to type in www.onlinebillpaying.com, it will now go to where it's supposed to go. Again, this is the missing link at all the instructions online, YouTube, wherever I went, and it took me weeks to figure this out. So now if you hit add a record again to save that, you're going to see 2 lines now. If you see these 2 lines, your domain will forward to text. In other words, the root domain name, online bill paying, without the W's. And text can go there, or people who know you don't need to add www all the time. No problem. But that next line down, once you complete that, it will forward to anybody, a tech or a regular person. Okay, I think you get that. Again, I have to talk to you because I don't know what level you're at. You could be a tech, you could be a guy just starting out trying to figure out what the heck, how come it doesn't work? Well, now it will work. Okay, so you see those 2 lines, and the TTL there just means within 15 minutes it's going to actually propagate or work or be seen. Okay, let's go to the next scene, which is me. So if you go to Hover and you forward your domain names and you say, hey, that guy knew what he was talking about, then see it says jtylermusic there. That's my YouTube channel connection. Just click on subscribe to the bottom right and come on over, because I have other stuff up there on how-tos. We do a little country music and stuff like that too. But in my how-tos, for example, in my studio here, I have 2 homemade teleprompters that I made for less than 50 bucks. You just use your monitor, flip it sideways, turn it around, and it aims up into a piece of plexiglass, which is what cost me like 18 bucks at Lowe's. But anyway, I show you how to make teleprompters in case you want to read some stuff that you're doing, and I even show you how to get the teleprompter software for free. So there are things like that on my YouTube channel. With that, I bid you adieu. For those in Los Angeles, it simply means, phones always go off in the studio here, sorry, but it simply means goodbye. So thank you for stopping by. I hope you've learned something here. I took it slow so that you get it. With that, I'll see you somewhere on the campus.